Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will show you to interacting a new tutorial about face recognition. So what about this tutorial, this project? So I have an idea to make a face recognition service, and the first thing we need to train for is some data with some user information with the face and that image, and we can upload an image with the name user info is some data and train our service first, and we can tag it with another picture and let to for the system can be compare that picture, that face either in our system, and we can take in so the user can info that that is my family member or that is someone else, and with a different image, but we can detect users face recognition technology. So the manual is in Python language, so I decided to use Python, and we make a response service. And for user, the first thing the user can upload image and add some name information, like for example ask me and Toán, and with the free email info for default, and we can add more email for the first training. Each many image it can be give us very 99 or 98%. Okay, so let's get started. First before start, I got a need to tell you that we can use a face recognition service in our current project. That is camera streaming service. We can add this to Raspberry Pi, and we can detect from camera, and that means someone visits my home or visits your home or your company or somewhere. We need to detect someone is not my friend or is not my family member, that we need to show a notification that hey Toán, someone else visit your home, alright, isn't your family member. So that's my idea. So you can use this technology and with any other service. Okay, so let's get started. First, I did prepare a document for a first start. Right, so remember this is a Python language. So I recommend download the Python development tool in this JetBrains. I already downloaded it. Already our Python. It's a free. Okay, so now we need to install virtual environment first. Now need to open my terminal. Alright, run sudo install virtual and my password. Okay, it's done. So now we need to create a new project. Right, I'm going to change to tutorial folder and create a new project, and for example face and cd face. Alright, so next thing, write to environment and write to environment. Right, we need to wait for and set up some default malware. Right, so it's done. Now we can go ahead to open in our Python. So when open that in tutorial and face, open that. So we got the right to environment. We don't have any file in project. Let's keep it. Alright, so next thing we need to install Boost Python. In our project we use it dlib. It's a C++ library, so we need to install Boost Python first to compile and the deep library. This is deep library GitHub. Alright, you can use it to and in our project too for machine learning and compile. So, right, so need to download. You can visit boost.org and click right download this, and you can download a large version. And this is a 7Z, so that means you need to write some archiver software to extract it. Right, I just download this on my computer. So in the download folder, now I'm going to extract this to current download folder. You can use this software and search on Apple Store for an archiver and download this. This is an extract tool for some compressed file. Right, this extract file to this folder. In the deep library C and all the malware, it can be installed on Ubuntu or all the Linux system. So for now, it's a development, so I need to install the malware on my Mac OS. Alright, so need to follow next step and to compile boost.python, and we need to change to this folder. So I am going to open new tab on my terminal and change to the boot folder we just downloaded here. And so need to follow the document and bootstrap as run. Let's copy and paste right here and enter. It's gonna take a time. Right, next thing we need to run .b2. So malware is written in C++. So we need to compile this before we use it. So this can take time to done. So it's done, and the next step we need to run sudo and b2 install and with password. The password is your computer, the root user password you set it. Alright, this takes time too. Okay, so it's done. The next step So we are going to install deep libraries. If you are using on another system, so I could recommend visit the GitHub and see that document install and get it. For now, I'm working on the Mac, so I prepared the document this for Mac, and it should work for Ubuntu as well. Alright, so let for next thing we need to is the build install cmake. Okay, it's done. Cmake ready install, and we need to clone this git and to our local and compile this. Alright, you can visit the file. I'm sorry. Open this. Alright, exactly it's this one. So you can check out the latest version of this project. And so for now, let's on my computer, and we can clone this to our local computer and build it. So currently we are working on the boot. Let's cd again to download file, and I am going to check out this. Let's clone this. And it's cloned to the library folder. Okay, so it's done. And for now, I am going to open my downloads, and I recommend to copy that folder into our project. Let's copy that into our project, and in tutorial and face and write to environment folder. Let's move it to folder. And for now, I am going to change directory to deep library folder and cd my Mac and drag this folder to my command and enter. Now I am current in deep library folder. That means cd to deep library. And let's copy the next command and enter. This can take time to compile our project. Okay, so it's done, compiles our files done. So the next command we need to copy that, enter. Right, go. Right, cd to should add 3. So we may need to install this pkconfig. Alright, so again pkconfig library with that package lib. So it doesn't work. Okay, so let's skip this part. Alright, so its next part can run this python activate python. Alright, so so I'm going to activate the python and write to environment. So remember, we are in project, and this is a write to environment folder, and we need to change to write to environment. Make sure it's this, and you can run shurk and bin. You should see the bin folder in right here, and activate it. And now you should see write to environment is activated. Okay, so go ahead and run this code. Sorry, skip this, remove this. I didn't run it anymore. So we need to change again during a virtual environment activating, and we need to change to the library, cd library, and you see setup.py file, and here we need to kill this command. We set up py and copy. Let's copy that. And this should be take a time to compile. Okay, so it's done. So we just comprise this library into Python. So that means now we can go ahead and go to PyCharm.ca, and so right click on project setting, or even you can click to PyCharm and preference. We'll click on the first thing. I need to change the fonts and the editor font. Change to Lagger. You can see the Python code much better. 20, so 18, apply, and we need to select a project. It's a name project and project interpreter, and this is default and virtual environment folder, and we need to install all some other malware and face recognition and click install it. Okay, so it's where it's installing, and let's get back to our project. We need to install Flash, and we can use this for our API. We can use it for our web API, RESTful service. Alright, so need to find this and Flash. Right, click on it and insert this package. And okay, so we should see on the process we are installing our dependency malware for the project. You can install in via PyCharm, or even while virtual environment activating, you can run pip install. For example, in this case, free recognition that, but we did it in PyCharm, so we don't have to run pip install that anymore. Alright, so why for the face recognition install, I am going to create a new file in our project. Renew file, let's call it the app.py, and we need to import from Flash, import Flash, and this one response. So we need to make an example web service. Alright, for now let's do app equal Flash with name Right, we got that. And here finally we got app.run, core app.run to run the project. And we need to make a first router, for example, a localhost, and port the flash should be our application, web application, which automatically run default on port 5000. So we make a app.router. For example, it's root. And app.router at default we can allow only methods for guest. Should be guest only. So we don't allow all the methods. And we define a new function for this homepage. For example, I call it homepage. Homepage. Like that. And homepage I can run a sample in our console and you print. Welcome to home page. It should be print it to console. And now we return something. Response, just import the response pack into our project with 3 parameters. The first data. The data, for example, we do by data, or for example, output equal JSON.dump with JSON format, for example, API, and the version I can deliver is 1.0. And so here we can pass output into our response. The next parameter should be status equal something. So default should be 200, that means successful HTTP curve. And the my time should be default. We are using the web service, so I recommend you to application. Alright, application JSON format. Right, so that's, and now let's run this. Alright, so for in the PyCharm, let's select it and run, and we select a file to run this. Alright, so PyCharm. Alright, so let's copy this URL to paste to in our browser. And now, right, so we should see a new message in our web service API 1.0. This only allows get method. That means if using postman and request the post method, it should be not allowed. For example, and remember the default slash and the home page, and let's home and this URL journey work. And so we make a request to our post method to our post, and send this should be not allowed because we are only allow get method. Let's change it to get, and I think should work. Should API 1.0. Alright, okay, so let's stop it. I am going to make a new, I'm sorry, no comma, right? I'm going to make a new function to make this better, so we go code it later. For example, if I success handle, set handle with output and stars with default 200 default HTTP success code, and my type, right, something default should be application JSON. And here we can call return. So let's copy that for real quick, and so return output argument from this function. That in Python this looks like a function in Node.js, so that's the same. And start, let's move it to start and change to my type. Default should be our my type application. Okay, so collect that, and we can make a new function for error handler. So error handler with the method error method. Matters. Okay, and the next start course should be, for example, battery request, so to 500, and my type should be application as well, default application JSON as well. So here we return response, and we will return for example with JSON stem with following format should be error, and matrix should be exactly arrow matrix from parameter arrow matrix, for example arrow matrix, and the next parameter should be stars equal stars, and my type should be equal my type in our parameter. Okay, so in this case, when we call the home page, we can return this. We can call this by return subset handle with output. And so we don't have to pass a starter because it take default. Let's run this. And again, refresh. It should work. So what happens if I, for example, run in Parchment? It should work. For example, if I want to an arrow paste arrow handle, so we can call this to arrow handle with arrow matrix an arrow like that. And so let's stop it, refresh this and run again. Now send this. Now you should see an arrow. You should see that arrow handle. Okay, so should right exactly arrow matrix return arrow handle stars JSON dump stars equal stars my type equal my type. I faced this problem with Miss S. So refresh the app and send it. Now you should see an arrow matrix arrow an arrow. Okay, so get back to arrow. We're gonna return subset handle with output. Refresh this and that should work. Okay, so that is how we make a sample with the home page and our API. So the next thing we need to do is to allow a new API router for user can add new or face image and add some user info for training our application, and then they can upload a specific file with image, and it's another image and you can find and to it's matched to free or user free in our system or not, or doesn't find any image file. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, I'm going to upload a route, define new router for user uploads. App.router. Example API and user should be allow methods. User and for example is train. It should be a train to user. API train. Okay. And so method for now it should be allow only pods. So for now return something. Right, remove this welcome to homepage and we define a new function for train. And with now let's bring something else. Return success handler with output equal, for example, should be json.dump with, for example, success equal to, and return output. Okay, let's refresh our app. Click on here, or you can even just stop it and start again, or even click on this refresh app. And we got our API and train import, and I'm going to port nothing, so we can delete this header, no header. The body, let's see, body for user, right, nothing, and we send it. We got success true, and that is the formatted. And I would like to do this. In this case, use and add a new train to user who is to belong to any user. For example, key to name and value my name, and with upload field, for example, file or face is a free image, or I recommend file. And here it should be form data. I'm sorry. Select form data, and we got some name. And then we can use this info and show up to user later for testing, and you can find some user to match it with face. And with the file, with take file upload, and we upload something, upload some email right here. Okay, so to do that, we need to import a couple things to from Windows dot util and import security file name. Need to import that. And for now, I'm going to upload, select an example. So I got a new true image file in the my download folder as Ronaldo. So we can upload that any folder image right here. For now, I'm going to select this file, and we send to our backend server, and we don't see anything because for now I'm going to make a new folder for store our image file. Let's make store folder. Alright, so in this file we can get a file. If file is not in request, alright, we need to import request in request file. We print something else, for example, print file is required. For example, face image is required, and RURL print something else. Yes, request is a content image. Refresh this, and we see something. That again. Oh, it's not in. I think I make a mistake right here. Request.file. And refresh this again. Right, request is a content image. So we need to get the image file. And so for now, I'll make a print to our console with exactly request and we can do print file or request with required.files, and now refresh this and send this. We got some should be an object right here with the file in file object with the image type. So we can make some allow, for example. Let's do this. Right, app.config file allow equal an arrays, for example, image png, image gps, that we allow or image extension. And for here we get this file request file equal request dot file and file. If file does my style is not in app.config in config file allow, copy that, and we make something. Right, I'm going to do this not, it may not is required, and we can return here, return with error handler with the matrix file phrase image either required, like that, with error matrix. And here we can check that if file my type is not in array of image file extension we allow in config. So we do first we need to do file extension is not allowed. So I'm sorry. So simply we return to user with the error method error handler with file. Right, so we are only allow upload file with png or gpg, like that. Arrow and print to console. Right, file is allowed. And so we do let's save file to our config, our store. Okay, so let's again with this. Send this. So request is a count. Oh wait, I need to refresh the app. And let's send it. We can see in the file is allowed. And so what happens if I select another file? For example, we select a PDF file, and we see this. We can get an error from server. We are only allowed extension file with PNG. Okay, so that is how we do validation upload file. And let me show you why we do need security file name. Very important, because I don't want to user upload a cell file to our server and make it dangerous. Alright, so we need to do that. Let's save file. So we can make this config in app.config with store equal, and it should be import from OS, import path. I think we should be path.zone and current directory, for example, and yes, current directory. So get current directory with store And here we can print something, whatever. Alright, so printify allow and will be saved in app.config and store. So let's see, let's refresh this. And now again, alright, so I'm sorry, we need to select allow extension file with sample, for example, like this. And we got this. File is allow and we'll save it in this. Is correct. So our config folder for upload file is correct. So, and here we do by file name equal security file name, file name. And here I can print this, print new file name file name. Right, remember our default file name is ronaldo.png, but after uploads, it should be a different file name. Right, so refresh that and now submit again our new file name. Maybe security file name. Okay, so it's good. So, right, this is the default new file name. So let's try to do with save this file, and we can call file.state to new our directory to parse.zone our config app.config with store and zone with path. Now file name. Okay, so now I believe we refresh this and the file should be stable. Upload this. And now click on store. You should see an image file is uploaded into our server. Okay, so that is how we save upload file. And how do we, for example, we need to get a name. So, right, car's name. Run this file, request and allow. And this case we do after save a file and here get username, get name in form data. So we have a form key with name and value is my name. So this is the default information we train for this email. For example, we train to this email is Ronaldo. Ronaldo, like that. Right, this is Ronaldo name, and then we upload another Ronaldo email file, and our system can file in database and compare with face image and return exactly the name or not. Okay, so we need to name of the form data. So let's name equal. So we got the request.form with name. And let's print this. Information of that phrase with name, let's see. And again, refresh this. We send it. Information of the name is this text field. For it, let's change to my name and send it to our backend. We should see information that phrase my name. Okay, so problem is how do we save in our database? So in this project, I want to use a default is a SQLite. So we need to create a new file to connect to SQLite. And the tool I recommend to do, let's get back to our document and the database and SQLite browser. you need to download this. It's available on Windows or Mac OS. So you can download this and you can design an SQLite. So for now, I will make a new. I want to save a user in our database user with a name and then save a free image. So one user, it can be has a lot of free, and that if we upload as many as free for the user, then our system can be reconnect later better for when the user want to find someone else. So let's create a new file. For example, we got the information, the name and file after save. So we need to use the email file and the name, and we can save in our database. I'm going to create a new, we can do it within a app.py. For example, we can do by import SQLite 3 in Python. It's a default support. Now you can do a default, for example, class database like that, and we got a defined init. But I want to keep the database in separate file, and this can make our application better. So let's create a new file in our project. Call this db.py. So in db.py, I am going to copy to import SQLite 3, and we need to define class for class database with default initialize function. We got self.connection equal SQLite.connect to our database. So we do for database db URL, db equal something like, alright, so import, from OS import path gets current dir. We got path dot join which gets current dir with, we are going to use a file in database is db, right, database dot db. And here we can connect to our db, and exactly we got a variable as store file. Right, so and here I'm going to make a something like that query. So query should be not default wizard query and argument. Right, default. So we got cursor equal self dot connection cursor, and default after we got cursor cloud this dot equals something query and argument. So result equal cursor dot fetch r. So that's return result. That is a query. And what's about insert? So I'm going to make a new function for insert to our database. We need to do that when after the file upload and the user need to say that. Okay, so insert should be which query as well, and argument default equal self dot connection cursor and cursor dot HQL query and argument. And after insert a new row to in our SQLite, so we do have to commit that by sub.connection.commit, and we can return cursor dot last row ID, and we get last ID of the object or the row. We just save that, or we can do like this: results equal or even ID or result, and here we can call cursor.color and we return result. That's how we make a, and we got a database class. And here, how do we use this in our app.py? And for now, in this case, we need to save this, and we got a new user with, for example, now let's save file. We got a file saved in our database. We got a file name and its name, username. And here, let's save it to our SQLite database. Okay, so let's do that by simply we need to import our database from and the name of the file db import exactly class we just variable right here, copy that and import our database. So in this case we can do like this: app.db equal database. Right, we kill this and initialize our database class. So in this case we can call this, let insert to our database with app.db.insert, and we call app.db insert with the query. So insert into, for example, with user with some field first name and right. So I think we can get the name, or even this time we created that for created. And so how do we guess this? So we need to import time, and we this time I want to save in our unit timestamp. So got time equal, and it should be created equal term an integer term.time. And here we need to parameter a. First parameter is the name of user. So the name of user we got it required from name, form and name. And next parameter is the date time we create that user. Create. And so let's see what else. Okay, so ID equal last ID equal last ID, or even user ID equal last. So now let's try do that. You should see an error. Let's further refresh the app, and we try to upload file and send from. We don't have a phone and that, so that is why we do have a user postman for testing. Right, for now I'm going to submit with the name and my face image for training our service. Let's send it. Now you should see an error. Insert into, and let's see. Insert into with the name. Alright, I got some. I need to do value equal something right here. request is content image. Alright, cool. So refresh the app, and we still see an error because I know such table user. So that is why in the documentation I just recommend an SQL browser, and we design some default table and column. So let's open that. I just install it. You can download this, and I just download this and install on my Mac. If you didn't download it and didn't install it, let's try to download and install it. Just click and click. It's done in a couple of steps. Right, I'm going to open SQL Lite, and we can use it. And we need to open data and select to our database.db file and file project and this file. Alright, so we got table is 0. Alright, because it's don't table doesn't no table created that. So we need to create a new table. For example, I want to store a user, or you can do the info later, but I recommend the user table. You got a couple of fields. The first field is ID. Each ID should be automatically generation, should be integer, and prime key and auto increment and unique. That should be not null. Okay, so not null is okay. Let's create other field with name. We need to say name with a tag, and tag should be not new. Again, one more time, we need to field created that is integer. It should we can say this time when user created with unit timestamp. Okay, so create that for, and now we need to file and save project. Okay, so now it killed again. Now testing, get back to our application and make a submit for data again. Let's see, send it. Now, so no set table user. Try again. Let's see what they are. Alright, so I'm going to refresh this and stop and refresh this again and make sure we save this. Alright, so now test again, send this. Alright, that means successfully. So print this. I believe it should be saved, and now we can open the table, user table in browse data. You guys should see this user. Alright, so I don't see anything here. User table user. Alright, so we got it. And select user, and you got see. We got a name, my name, table column is name, and create. And I want to make a debug right here. Print user saver in database. So we need to try check right here. If user ID, and then we show up to user instead, and otherwise we return something else. Something happened. Oh, something happened. So we first print something happened. Right. So, and we also return this to our user return error handler, which method error method an error inserting a new user. So maybe in some our database is not exist, some happen in our database and we can't say it happen. Okay. Alright, so let's refresh this, and a user save with data, for example with name and user ID, and refresh this, and we should send it. We should see user save in data with my name. User save in data with my name and the ID. Now ID should be 2 because it automatically increase. So let's see again. Let's refresh this. Alright, where the refresh button here. Now you should see my name in our SQL database. And remember, we do have another item to want to say. It's a file face. You know, we save file with file name in our past, in our store, and I recommend we just only store the file name. So we have to create a new folder, and let's get back to data struct. And we need to create a new folder equal file or even face with first name, phrase ID, and it should be an awesome and auto and unique. And next field should be user ID with user ID integer. That should be not null. And this means we can use this and we can call left zone or inner zone. And for later query, we can fetch all the image face in our database when user trained it and belong to a user. For example, I can have a lot of image face, and that you can have our system can be recognition better. So the user can have more face, more than one face image, Alright, so and next field should be a file name. File name should be the text field and should be not new, right? And I'm going to say that, okay, and hit Command S on my computer and say that. Right, so after we got a user state, and here user has been saved with data with a user ID, and now we need to save phrase table as well. So what we need to save? So I am going to call a same app.db.insert. Remember, with our database we called a function insert. Did that, and app.db.insert. I insert the first thing to the query. The query should be insert into, and the table we are using a face. We just create a new table equal face, and with field we need to say field don't need to ID because ID will automatically generation and auto increment. So we need to do is the field we got a user ID and file name. Even we can add small field track. Alright, I recommend to modify. Click modify table, and we can add some more field created. That means this image frame when they just upload it, not new, and save that. And Command S on my computer and save SQL in our database struct. Frame with the user ID, and the next file name is field name. Let's see, file name and created. Right. With alright, I believe I placed some wrong place. File name created with the value should be and question mark with three parameter, and next is the parameter. And remember, we got a database insert. The first is query and next parameter. So the next parameter should be like this. It should be an array. And the third should be user ID we just get from our first query. We insert to the user and we got back a user ID, and should be user ID. And the next parameter should be file name. File name is exactly after we format which query file name, and let's copy that file name, and we got created this. The datetime in unit timestamp, we could say that, and we got file phrase ID like that equal, and we can do check this if phrase ID, and that means print. We don't print anything, or you can print this, print to some error. Alright, cool. Phrase has been saved. And error. This means some error. Print an error saving face image too. So alright, so in this case I recommend to return error handler with the method exactly this, an error saving image file. Alright, so and in this case, right, after we done this, I recommend with return success handler. Right, set handler with data. We got with data, and data is a what. So I'm going to do it should be data return output equal should be a JSON stem with following. First thing we need to ID exactly user ID, and the next parameter should be name, should be user name, and the next parameter is the face. I'm sorry, phrase. I believe should be an array, or right, should be an array of object with ID equal. Alright, so we got the user phrase with phrase ID. For example, in this case, ID exactly phrase ID, and let's see next parameter. Alright, next parameter. Oh, you can do like this. Phrase object data equal ID equal phrase, makes it better for you to understand it better. And we got the file name with file name, and created datetime timestamp. Alright, created. This is datetime in unit stamp. And in this case, we get remove this and phrase data. Alright, so and return set handle, return output. Okay, so let's refresh the app and make a test. And submit it again. Now cool, it has been saved, and what we get in our report output, we got this face. This is a user with face object. This user can have more than a face. But for now, let's return example with array with create. This is a timestamp in units. We can use it, and in the front end, we can get to a datetime format. And file name, and the ID of phrase, and user ID, and the name, my name. That is how we can call back to user. Alright, so I will stop this video here, and we will get back to next video soon. Bye for now.